It's true. I am now using a Mac Mini 2012 model as my main computer. Let me tell you why. What is up, boys and girls? My name is Vin Jimfield. Hope you're having a smashing day, and if this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And for the rest of you, thank you for joining me once again. So, going a bit retro today. I've done the switch, I've tested to make a few videos, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. It simply is working. And it's working in a way, and I've mentioned this before, where the Mac Mini 2012 model is actually better than the 2018. And I've mentioned this before. And I think I have some good, valid points when I'm saying it. For one thing, I'm not gonna try to repeat myself, I try to avoid that in my videos, but sometimes it's important to mention the most important things for people who haven't seen my episodes before or heard my podcasts, and that is the fact that on my Mac Mini 2012, I have two slots for SSD drives, or I can put a big old HDD, a big hard drive on 5 terabytes or something like that, and have one to be, or I can have, for instance, I could have like several terabytes of SSD drives and RAID 0 them. This is something that I simply can't do on the Mac Mini 2018. Now we're talking specs. Oh yeah, hell yeah, you definitely get more power there. If you were talking about like editing videos in 4K, the Mac Mini 2012 is not exactly my go-to computer, but I should also say that I did edit a lot of 4K videos on this machine a couple of years ago. I used my Note 3, and they were kind of short videos, sort of like this one, but it could be done. What I'm trying to say is that it did work, and you can do it on the Mac Mini 2012. Now, I do not have a very huge disk on the Mac Mini, but I'm actually considering making an update on that area. Like that's a valuable thing. Like for like $200, I can get a really fast 1 terabyte SSD. I can get 2 of those even and pay $400. It's still a lot cheaper than buying a Mac Mini 2018 with those storage solutions. And I even have an SD card slot. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the things that I can do on the Mac Mini 2012. Right now I'm doing what I mostly do on my Mac Mini 2012. My computer basically is that I am editing while I'm recording. I'm using OBS Studio and I'm recording this video while I'm editing. I have my filters on, I have a compressor on the audio, I have background music, I can flip between the intro and whatnot, and it's just solid. It works, Now, the main reason why I made this switch now, because what I used to do is I used to do all my video recording on my Hackintosh. And my Hackintosh has no internet connection. It has no Wi-Fi. Like, if I log in on the Windows side of it, no problem. I've got Wi-Fi. But when my Hackintosh, I could just not get it to work. I could if I put in like 20 or 30 hours into it, like really reading and exchanging the parts that are not making it possible for me to get Wi-Fi. But I just don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to waste my time on that. And of course, I could have just used Windows. For using OBS, I could have just done that. But I sort of like, being in the ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem, you sort of still want to have access to all the stuff that you're used to. So that's what I have by recording on my Mac Mini 2012. And it's an old device, but it's still an i7 processor, 2.3 gigahertz quad core. Not 8, quad core. I think that's really impressive. And I remember it cost me like, I think it was like $700. Now the GPU is horrible on this thing. It's definitely not for 4K. And the only sad thing is I have it hooked up to my 4K monitor and I cannot get it to run properly in 4K. So I've actually lowered the resolution and I'm running it in 1080p. But you know what? I honestly don't mind anymore. Again, like, yeah, you would get a bit sharper, but it's not that important. The content is important, the work is important, and everything else is just, you know, confetti details. I'm not into that anymore. So no, it's a really cool solution and I'm really happy with it. Seems to be working fine. I just need to get bigger hard drives. That's what I need. A big, I'm actually thinking about getting a 1 terabyte SSD. I really am. So that's going to be my upgrade, I think, for the Mac Mini 2012. And be just, you know, to keep things in perspective, for those of you who are still rooting for Mac Mini 2018, you can't do that on a Mac Mini 2018. You can't do that on any of the MacBooks sold today. But I can do it on an old 6-year-old Mac Mini. Just saying.
Okay, that was it. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, see that like button, smash it. And I got some freakishly awesome videos coming up. Better subscribe so you don't miss a beat. I'll see you later. Peace.